Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today, in this lecture, we will focusing on organizing data and graphing, right? And then after finish organizing data and graphing, we will focus on descriptive statistics. For organizing data and graphing, we only going to touch on brief how to construct a graph and what is the purpose of that graph for qualitative and quantitative, and how to interpret the graph, right? So as we have learned on the previous chapter, which is chapter number 1, introduction to statistics, we already know there are two type of variable, right? Two type of variable. One is qualitative variable, another one is a quantitative variable. So under qualitative variable, we know that this is a categorical variable. Categorical variable. And for quantitative variable, we have two type of quantitative. One is discrete quantitative, and another one is continuous quantitative variable, right? So under quantitative variable, we have two scale of measurement, right? We know there are two scale of measurement. One is interval scale, another one is a ratio scale. Right, for qualitative variable, we have two type of measurement scale. One is nominal scale, another one is ordinal scale. So I hope you already understand and know how to differentiate between nominal and ordinal, interval and ratio. Right. So for qualitative variable, so before we start this one, let's recall the definition of statistics. So definition of statistic, right? Statistic, we have 5 elements, right? First, it start with how information commonly known as data is being collected. So then, after we collect the data, right? So we begin to organize the data. Then after we organize the data, we need to do analysis. Analyze the data and interpret the data. And last is we're going to present the result, right? We're going to present the result. So this is the step, the 5 element consists in statistics. So we already learned how to collect the data. We already know what is the definition of variable, data, right? Scale of measurement. And then once you already collect the data, you will do a data organization. Means that you're going to susun balik, organize the data in a proper form, such as graph, tabular table, right? And then you're going to do some descriptive analysis, such as mean, mode, median, and some brief graph for understanding the nature of the data, right? Under qualitative data, right? Qualitative data, as we know, there are categorical data. So categorical data, we can only do frequency distribution, right? Frequency distribution, and then we can do a pie chart, bar chart. So under bar chart, there are 3 type of bar chart. First is a simple bar chart. Simple bar chart consists of vertical bar chart or horizontal bar chart. Another one is cluster bar chart or multiple bar chart. This is the same definition, but sometimes people say it's a cluster bar chart. Sometimes people call as a multiple bar chart. Basically, it's the same chart, right? Another type of bar chart is a component bar chart or stack bar chart, right? Stack bar chart and component bar chart are the same things lah. Means that we stack the category on the same bar. And then for qualitative variable or qualitative data, we can also do a contingency table, or what we call as a cross tabulation table, right? Cross tabulation table, normally there are 2 by 2 table, or 3 by 2 table, or 3 by 3 table, right? So for quantitative data, right? For quantitative data, we can do a stem and leaf plot, frequency distribution. Frequency distribution means that it's a kind of frequency table, same as qualitative data. But for quantitative data, to construct a frequency distribution, we need to do some manipulation. We need to categorize data into part. Right? This is apply for group data and ungrouped data. And we could also do histogram, right, for a quantitative data. So and then we can also do a frequency polygon, or frequency polygon came from histogram lah. And last is a OGIF, which is a cumulative frequency curve, right? So now for descriptive statistics, either group data or not ungrouped data. Group data means that the data is categorized into group, right? And group data means the data is raw data. We have a very massive data, then we're going to analyze it. So there are two measures of descriptive statistics. First is a central tendency, measure of central tendency. Another one is measure of dispersion, right? Under measure of central tendency, we will learn how to compute mean, mode, and median. So this is very basic descriptive statistics. For measure of dispersion, we will learn how to compute standard deviation and variance. So this is the objective for this lecture, right? So we will cover how to organize data for quantitative and qualitative data, and we want to know how to analyze, how to do some descriptive statistics for measure of central tendency and measure of dispersion. Boleh faham ah? This is what we want to do now today, right? So now let's look at the frequency distribution. Frequency distribution is the table consists of row and column. Right? This is a frequency distribution. Other name for frequency distribution we call it as a frequency table. Right? Frequency table. Benda yang sama lah. Frequency distribution or frequency table is the same things. Right? It's a table consists row and column with the purpose to summarize data into different classes and their frequency. So dalam frequency table, we have two things, which is column. This is a table. We have column, right? First column, second column. So in this column, we have X, which is the class, X or class. And this is the frequency, right? The symbol for frequency is small letter f, right? So it consists of two columns or more than two columns, right? This is a basic columns, right? And rows, maksudnya each row represent the class. This is a class 1, class 2, and so on lah. And we have the last row should consist of total. Each row on the second column is your frequency. Let's say 18, 20, 21 and so on lah. And then this is the total of the frequency. Boleh faham? This is a basic frequency table. Right. So dia kata kat sini, each class, a class is a category into which qualitative data can be classified. Such as, kalau kita nampak example yang selalu kita pernah lihat, Let's say we have gender. This is a frequency, say male and female. And then last is total. Let's say a gender in FSKM, a student in FSKM, let's say we have 500 male, 500 female. The total should be 1000. So this is example of frequency table. Alright, I hope you understand the concept of frequency table. Now let's look at the example number 1. Example number 1, I just want to show you the same thing that I already explained, which is a frequency table. So a mobile phone dealer in Ipoh makes a sale for following brand mobile phone for the month December 2015. So we have 2 columns and several rows, right? So this is your class column, this is your frequency column. Each row consists of the category for mobile phone brand, Nokia, iPhone, BlackBerry, right? And this one consists of the frequency. The symbol for frequency is small letter f. Normally, for doing a descriptive statistics, these 2 columns is not enough. We need to add another column, which is what we call as a relative frequency. So relative frequency, or what we call as probability of X. So this is your X, right? Right, probability of X or relative frequency. Relative frequency. Right, relative frequency. So let's say the frequency for Samsung is 120 and the total of mobile phone brand is 282. So to get the relative frequency for the first class, which is Samsung, 120 divided by 282. So it should be the value less than 1 and more than 0. It cannot be a negative value. It cannot exceed 1. So 120 divided by 282 should be equal to 0.42 or 43. Right? 0.43 contoh. Right? And then we calculate for everything. The total for relative frequency should always equal to 1. If you get the total of relative frequency less than 1 or more than 1, something wrong with your calculation lah. Right? Because relative frequency is a basic probability. Nanti kita akan tengok the next chapter on the introduction to probability. Right? And another column that very useful when you do a descriptive statistics is a cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency, the symbol is capital F. Right? Capital F. So let's say a cumulative frequency is the total of the frequency for each rows or class. So cumulative frequency start before the first class. So before the first class is, there are no class before the first class, right? And of course, the frequency before the first class is 0. Boleh faham? So, and the cumulative frequency before the first class is also 0. So, cumulative frequency is defined as the cumulative frequency before the first the class, right? Before the class plus the frequency of the respective class. Maksudnya cumulative frequency before class for Samsung, right? Plus frequency of Samsung equal to cumulative frequency for Samsung. Maksudnya 0 plus 120 is equal to 120. And for Nokia is 120 plus 55 should be equal to 175. 175 plus 82 should be equal to 257. And the last one, 257 plus 25 should be equal to 282. Right? So the last value for cumulative frequency is the total frequency. Right? This is the total frequency. Right? I hope you understand. I explain very slow. Right? So any questions so far about frequency table?
No, sir.
Alright. Okay. Now next, dekat sini dia kata, kat sini I dah bagi jawapan lah basically. Construct a frequency distribution table for the type of blood of 21 staff in a company. So they give you a raw data, means that this is ungrouped data. What we need to do is to create two column. Right? First is type of blood and frequency. So dia ada berapa? A, B, O, 3 saja kan? A, B tak ada. So A, B and O letak kat sini. And then you need to count how many A's dalam raw data. So 8, you letak 8. Right? And the do for B and O, and the total should be equal to 21. Sebab apa? Sebab dia dah mention sini 21, and then you need to count every number here should be 21 lah. Okay? This is how we do a frequency table. Now let's look at the next chart dalam qualitative variable. Remember, we are focusing now on qualitative variable, which is categorical variable. So a pie chart consists of one or more circles that are divided into sectors. The sector shows the number of object or percentage of each group or category. Right? So kita ada circle lah. Let's say you need to create one circle. Oops. Satu circle. Right? Circle ni represent the whole pie. Right? Nowadays, people are trying to modify from normal pie chart, modified to a donut chart, right, and so on lah. So, how to construct a pie chart? So, remember, pie chart only consists of one qualitative variable. One qualitative variable, right? You can also input another, you can integrate it with one quantitative variable, but later we'll do for advanced. But for the basic construction of pie chart, let's look at one qualitative variable. What are the purpose of pie chart? Purpose of pie chart, we want to know which category has the highest percentage or number of frequency, and which category has a lowest frequency or percentage. That is the objective of pie chart. Okay. So first step, we need to identify number of categories. Second step is we need to find the total for each category and the total for all categories. Right. Maksudnya we need to construct a frequency table lah. So if you have a frequency table, then baru you boleh buat pie chart. Let's say look at this one. Nanti kita tengok. Alright. Okay. Second step is third step is we need to find the percentage for each category and convert to the nearest whole number. Right. So this is the step. Step number 4, convert the percentage into degrees, which is percentage multiplied with 360 degree, and draw each sector for each category using protector. Maksudnya ada dia punya protector lah. So let's look at this one. Type of blood. So first step, we already identify number of categories. So we have 1, 2, and 3 categories. Right? And then we need to find the total for each category. Means that we need to find the frequency for each category. The A kita ada 8, 8, 5. The total is 21. Right? This is how we construct a pie chart. Right? So then step number 3, we need to calculate the percentage for each category, right? So to calculate the percentage, we need to create another column. Another column called as percentage. So this is percentage. So percentage is calculated by total for each category divided by total for all category. It's the same concept for relative frequency, and we need to multiply with 100%, right? So 8 divided by 21 multiply with 100, it should be equal to 38.1 lah, 0.10, right? So dia kata kat sini, convert to the nearest whole number. Maksudnya this is only 38 lah. Kita letak sini 38 saja. Senang nak kira. The whole number senang nak kira. 38%. Oops. Right. So same goes to column number 2, row number 2, which is 38%. And the last one is 5 divided by 21 multiply with 100%. It should be 23%. So it should be 24 lah. Right? 24. Right? 23 kita convert kan. And then the total should always equal to 100%. Right? Because we are calculating percentage lah. 38 plus 38 plus 24. It should be always equal to 100%. Right? So this is how we calculate a percentage. And then we need to calculate a degree. So not degree Celsius. Salah. So degree saja. So we need to calculate for degree. So degree is calculated by using this formula. Percentage multiply with 360. So 38 over 100 multiply with 360, it should be equal to 136.8. 136.8. This also same, 236.8. And the last one, it should be 86.4 degree, right? And the total should be always equal to 360 degrees, right? Boleh boleh faham. This is very simple, right? And then for a pie chart, we need to find our locus, right? Titik tengah ni, and then start from 12 o'clock, right? 136 degree, I think somewhere here lah, somewhere here, and then somewhere here, right? Tinggi sangat. Right. So this one consists of 136.8 degrees. This is 136.8 degrees, and this one should be 86.4 degrees. I need to find the degree, you need to use protector lah. Baru nampak dia punya degrees. Right. So but in Excel, in pie chart, we are not going to show our degree, right? Tak tunjuk degree ni. We only show the value of frequency or percentage, right? So kita tunjuk dekat sini. This is 38 and this is 38%, and last is 24%, right? So, and then we need to do some colouring lah. Colouring, letak kat sini colour, cantik sikit, right? This is a basic pie chart lah, right? Okay. So then we need to put some label lah. This is for A blood type, and this is for B blood type, and this is for O blood type. And of course, for every chart or graph that we construct, we need to have a title. So title should always include the chart type and the variable involved for that chart. So a pie chart showing blood type for 21 staff in a company, right? So this is how we do a pie chart. Okay? Boleh eh? Okay. So next, so you can copy this one, example number 3, right? Aura and her team conducted a survey to investigate the kind of movie their friend liked the best, and the result are given in table below. Construct a pie chart for the information given. You can try by yourself. Please screenshot and do it later, right? So do it later following my instruction lah, the step, right? So kat sini dah bagi jawapan dah sebenarnya. Tapi this is another example for bad graphing. This is example for bad graph or chart. Sebab apa bad graph or chart? Sebab in every chart or graph we present to the public, right, or to our company, should not construct it with 3D format. It should always 2D format. Kalau you nak buat suka-suka hati dalam you punya website, okay lah, no worries. But for presenting the result or chart, always in 2D format. So this is a 3D format, it's not correct lah. Right. So you can manipulate if you are using Excel or SPSS later, right, or other software such as Tableau, Power BI and so on. You can do some cosmetic interface kat sini, maksudnya boleh tambah buat jadi donut chart, boleh buat apa orang kata tu, pizza chart lah, macam-macam lah sekarang, macam-macam. Right, so ikut your creativity lah, but the basic thing to construct a pie chart like this one. This is a basic thing, right? So now let's look at vertical and horizontal bar chart. So it lies under simple bar chart. For a simple bar chart, only consists of one qualitative variable. Vertical bar chart means vertically lah. Horizontal bar chart is on horizontal, right? So this is example of vertical bar chart, and this is example of horizontal bar chart, right? So now dekat sini dia kata kat sini, kita tengok vertical and horizontal bar chart is frequently used in newspaper, magazine, companies, annual report and others presentation to highlight information. It is used the length of horizontal bar in horizontal bar chart and vertical column in vertical bar chart to represent the quantity or percentage. Quantity means frequency or percentage. right? So how to construct bar chart? First, let's say kita tengok example yang ini, right? Comedy. Comedy besar sangat. Let's say kita tengok yang benda yang sama lah. Blood type, right? Blood type. So dekat sini, okay, let's say I tunjuk vertical bar chart. First, you need to have x-axis and y-axis. So which one is x-axis and which one is y-axis? This is very important. This is what? This is y-axis. This is x-axis, right? Always remember that, right? So bar chart, the category for every category blood type ni, right? So dia sepatutnya always be on x-axis. Always on x-axis. Unless you are doing a horizontal bar chart lah, then it should be on other side, right? Transpose saja. Right, so this is a blood category A, B, and O, right? So this one should always rename as type of blood, right? And y-axis should always represent a frequency. Ataupun dekat sini dia kata frequency is number of staff lah, right? This is a label for y-axis, right? So now to construct a bar chart, we need to carefully choose our scale for y-axis, right? So let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's why you need to have a graph paper lah. If you have a graph paper, then you can do a charting, a graph nicely, right? So bar chart is the first bar should always start with some space. So dalam graph paper kan, so you ada banyak bar kat sini kan. You need to leave one space lah, satu bar sikit dekat sebelum y-axis, right? Sebelum y-axis satu bar, and then this is your bar chart, right? And then let's say A should be 8 kan, you garis lah, so buat satu bar vertically ke atas, so macam ni. So if you are using two space, maksudnya dua kotak dalam graph, maksudnya width dekat sini pun mesti 2 bar juga. Maksudnya kalau kat sini 1 bar you space, sini pun 1 bar atau 2 bar. Maksudnya mesti sama, 1 bar atau 2 bar mesti ada space. And B should always is equal to 8 juga kan. Oh, tak cantik lah. Ayoyo. Okay, macam mana nak bagi cantik? Dah tak cantik dah, tak mau. Tak apalah. Tak cantik tak apa. As long as you understand. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good. Okay. So the height should always represent frequency lah. Kita nampak kat sini 8. This is 8 kan, frequency 8. So height dia mesti 8 lah. And then for O is height dia 5. So you letak 5 lah. Right. So dekat sini you need to understand, before the first bar kita ada satu space, right? Let's say we decide this one to be two space, dua kotak kan, two box. So this one also 2 box, right? Okay. And then dalam bar chart, this is a vertical bar chart. Always remember to put your axis title, right? Dekat sini kita letak axis title lah. This is number of staff. For blood type, for x-axis, type of blood, and the title for bar chart. So title for bar chart, any graph title dia mesti include dia punya graph name lah. Say vertical bar chart showing distribution of type of blood for 21 staff in a company. So, apa yang nampak dekat sini? First, kita ada type of chart, right? And then I also include the variable involved, right? And also include the sample size for the total sample size for the graph. So this is the 3 element that should be in the title of the graph on any graph. Okay. For a horizontal bar chart, you just transform it to terbalik lah, transform dia kepada sebelah sini. Maksudnya x axis di sebelah jadi digantikan kepada y axis and y axis become x axis. So this is for horizontal bar chart. Okay, I hope you understand. Right, before we go to cluster bar chart, I think we need to take a 5-minute rest. Right. Alright, for cluster bar chart or multiple bar chart, right, kita tengok sini, dia kata apa? Cluster bar chart or multiple bar chart is the same thing lah. Just a name. Sometimes people says that it's a cluster bar chart. Sometimes people says that it's a multiple bar chart. But it's actually representing the same thing, right? Utilize several bars for each item and enable reader to see immediately the difference between cluster, right? So sometimes in cluster bar chart, it involves 2 or more qualitative variable. 2 or more qualitative variable. Normally 2 is enough lah. If you put more 3 or more, then it's going to be very complicated and massive and hard to read the graph, right? Basically, let we fix this one lah. Let's say kita letak 2 quantitative, it should be enough, right? In cluster bar chart, it only involve 2 qualitative variable, means 2 categorical variable. If you can see here, example number 5, we have quarter and town. So for quarter, we have quarter 1, 2, and 3. Let's say this is we treat as a categorical variable. And town, we have Klang, Ipoh, and Kuantan. So we have 3 town. And this is the frequency, profit lah. Atau frequency pun boleh juga. And this is not frequency, this is a profit. This is a quantitative variable. Alright. So for cluster bar chart, instead of we having a single bar for each category, right? Now we split a bar into several category, right? So let's say kita nampak sini, di sini kita ada first quarter, second quarter, and the last one is third quarter, right? So this is quarter, right? And this is representing profit lah, profit in RM 1000, right? For the first quarter, kita nampak dekat sini, kalau kita if the town is not available, kita nampak kat sini, this is going to be berapa ni? 11, right? 11. Right? The total here should be equal to 8. And this one should be equal to 9. Right? Sorry, this one should be equal to 8 lah. 8, betul, sini berapa? Sini 6, 8. This one 8, 11. Alright, good. So the total here should be equal to berapa? 8, 8, 16, 17, 29, 27. Right. Betul? 28, 27, right? Kalau kita nak buat simple bar graph, right? So first quarter should be the highest, this one lah, the single bar representing 11, and this one should be representing 8, and this one also 8, right? This is for single or simple bar chart. For a multiple bar chart, instead of having a single bar on first quarter ni, we split the bar into town, right? So nampak dekat sini, first quarter ni we have Klang, let's say Klang, Ipoh and Kuantan. So we have first bar, second bar, third bar, right? So let's say saya letak sini 1, 2, 3 and 4. Contoh 1, 3, 2, 1. So for the first bar, kita ada Klang is equal to 4. Second bar also 4. Third bar 3. You nampak how I draw the graph. Dekat sini you nampak before the first bar I have a gap, right? Sama macam simple bar chart, always have a gap before the first bar. And dalam first bar ni I split the bar into three town. The first bar represent Klang, the second bar represent Ipoh, the third bar represent Kuantan. Let's say I need to do some colouring lah. So I letak colour. Because the first bar is a pink colour is for Klang. Right? Colour nicely. And then second bar is representing Ipoh. Ipoh should be green. And the last one is Kuantan. Kuantan, kita letak colour apa? Contoh, kita ambil colour biru. Right? So, you nampak dekat sini, for each bar, dalam town ni, I tak letak space. Just shoot side by side. It should be side by side. Right? So, because the whole thing here representing first quarter. The whole thing for Klang, Ipoh and Kuantan ni representing for first quarter. Right? For the second quarter, same as the first bar, kita letak benda yang sama lah. So the first Klang is 2, and then this is 3, and the last one also 3, right? So then you do the same thing for third quarter. This is 3, 4, and the last one is 1, right? So you need to do some colouring dekat sini, and then the thing that you need to add for a cluster bar chart is legend. So you need to add some legend here. So you can choose where you want to place the legend lah. Legend should include the name for town, right? The name that we cluster. Dalam satu bar ni kita clusterkan kepada sub cluster ni. We have Klang, Ipoh and Kuantan. So this is a Klang, Ipoh and Kuantan, right? So this one Kuantan, you should colour lah, bagi tahu dia punya indicator. This is the blue colour for Kuantan, and then green colour is for Ipoh, and the last colour which is pink colour for Klang. So people will when people see this graph, or people will also know, the pink colour is representing Klang, green colour representing Ipoh, blue colour is representing Kuantan. And this is the cluster bar chart. And when we want to finish up the cluster bar chart, we need to add the title for cluster bar chart lah. Should represent a cluster bar chart representing profit of each town by quarter. Contoh. So apa yang people will see from the title, dia nampak dekat sini, this is the title of bar, and this is a bar chart, and the type of bar, graph yang kita buat, consists of profit, variable yang ada, each town ada, quarter ada. Okay, semua variable ada dalam ni, and then type of chart ada dekat sini. So people we know, this is a cluster bar chart. Dalam cluster bar chart ni ada profit, ada town, ada quarter, right? And of course, each axis should represent the variable lah. This is a quarter, this is town, and this is profit, and last is town lah. So this is town. So this is how we construct a cluster bar chart. Very nice and basic fundamental of cluster bar chart, right? So if you look at this chart that I already draw, this is example of bad graph. Why?
3D.
Because it is 3D format, right? So graph always should be in 2D format. You can add certain criteria, certain attribute dalam ni. Let's say you letak this is 4, letak dia punya percentage pun boleh, ataupun letak dia punya frequency, this is 3, right? Some current cosmetic punya element lah. You boleh letak adding cosmetic element without losing the original side of cluster bar chart. Okay. So now we only look into a qualitative variable only tau. Belum masuk lagi quantitative variable. Right? Okay, any questions so far before we proceed to stack bar chart? No question, then we move to stack bar chart. Now, stack bar chart also called as a component bar chart. Right, also called as a component bar chart. Shows the total of breakdown in the component bar. Right, if the component are converted into percentage, then the percentage stack bar chart is produced where all the bar are equal height. So this is example of stack bar chart and stack bar chart with percentage. This is a percentage component bar chart or percentage stack bar chart, means that all bar are equal, means each category have 100%. Right, and this is example for stack bar chart. But this example is a bad graph lah, because ini 3D. Right, so now let's look at how we compute for stack bar chart. Stack bar chart is very easy. We need to start doing it by simple bar chart. So now let's look at this one. We have basically we have three category. Right, we have three categories, either years, and this one is what we call as the thing that the farm produce lah, wheat, barley and oats, right? So we can choose either to put wheat, barley and oats on x-axis or years on x-axis. Either one also fine, right? So now I make it this way lah. Letak satu, tak nak guna ni tak cantik lah. I guna this one, mungkin cantik sikit. Alright. Tambah satu lagi. Oops. Salah buat. Kejap ya. Okay lah. Right. So now component or stack bar chart, same as a simple bar chart. First bar should always have some space lah. So dekat sini kita ada wheat, and next is barley, and the last one is oat. And this is represent apa ni kita panggil product lah, product. Right, and then this is representing weight in kilos. Right, so now let's say kita tengok dekat sini the total weight for wheat, let's say 110. So kita letak 110 dekat sini. So kita tarik satu, tak syok sekejap ya. Okay. Okay, nice. Right, letak satu dekat wheat. This is 110. And then lepas kita tengok dekat sini the total untuk wheat 110. Barley is 58. Let's say 58 down here lah. If you have a graph paper, then you can measure properly lah. Right, so just need to copy and paste. Oops. All right. So barley down here, right, and oats somewhere here. Letak tinggi sikit. Alright, sini. This is going to be 74. Right, we start with a simple bar chart. Right, so for each bar, right, kita akan stackkan dia. So let's say kita tengok 2012. So 2012 is 32. So kita highlight sini lah. This is 32. And 44. We measure another 44 dekat sini. Kita letak kat sini. Let's say this is 44. 44 means 32 plus 44 should be 76 or somewhere here lah. 76 kat sini. Right. So sini padam. Alright. So this is representing 2012. This is representing 2013 and 2014. Right. This is how we do a stack bar chart lah, or component bar chart. Same goes to barley. This is 21, 2012, and then 21 plus 18. So 39 somewhere here lah. Letak kat sini. 2013. And this is 2014. Right, this is 27 somewhere dekat sini atas sikit. 2012. 27 plus 34, 64. Somewhere here lah. 2013. And this is 2014. Right. So nampak tak? This is stack bar chart. And of course you need to do some notation lah dekat sini. Let's say 2012 you letak color biru. Right. Color biru. And then for 2013, let's say we put purple. Purple kat sini. You color nicely. Right. And for 2014, let's say kita letak what color? I think kita letak merah lah, merah. Merah pun tak syok. Okay, merah ni. Okay, merah ni okay. Alright. Okay. Right.
Sure.
Yes.
Kalau tak guna colour,
Yeah.
buat macam polka dot ke, ataupun kita buat line-line untuk dia punya legend dia, boleh ke?
Also can, but it depend on your presentation. If you look messy and hard to read, then better avoid. Coloring always nampak okay lah. You just use light color. Jangan guna dark color apa semua kan. Dia tengok coloring. Dia based on perception. Kalau you nampak kalau you letak polka dot kan, nampak okay, nice, people can read it, then okay lah, you can publish it. But if look messy, hard to read, then it's going to be classified as a bad graph. Okay, so for colouring, cosmetic semua tu you kena be creative sikit. Maksudnya creative, don't over creative, means people hard to read. Maksudnya you bagi dekat pakcik susah nak nampak ni, nak baca pun tak tahu. Then it's classified as a bad graph lah. Kalau you nampak sekali, okay, nampak, okay, 2012, okay, nampak clearly it's 32, then okay, it's a good graph. Right? You need to carefully choose your theme, right? So as in cluster bar chart, stack bar chart also have a legend. So legend should shows the color or the theme that you use. This is 2012, 2013, 2014. So you tunjuklah this is a color for 2014, and this is a color for 2013, and this is the color for 2012. Right, as always, don't forget to write down the title for the graph. The stack bar chart showing apa? Showing weight in kilos for product from 2012 to 2013. So apa yang ada dekat sini, nampak tak? So we have a type of graph. We have the variable involved, weight, product, and year. Complete. Right? So this is the element that you need to always remember, the element in title. Right? Okay? This is stack bar chart. And if it's hard to read dekat sini, you boleh letak number lah. This is 32, this is 21, this is 44, and this is 34. And 2012, 2013 ni boleh take out lah, sebab kita dah ada colouring punya indicator. Right. Okay. Boleh ke boleh? Okay, good. Right, so this is an example of bad graph, because it's doing in 3D. Right. The next thing under contingency table, under qualitative data, we have contingency table. Contingency table, also known as a cross tabulation table, means that it compare two qualitative or more qualitative variable. Right, it normally in 2x2 lah. Simple contingency table, simple cross tabulation table, always in 2x2 table. But nowadays, kadang-kadang ada 3 qualitative variable dalam satu contingency table. But if you have more than 3 qualitative variable, then the table will look messy and hard to read. Right, so always avoid messy table and hard to read table. Right, so always present a simple table so people can understand what you want to present. That's the point. Right, we want people to understand what we want to present. That's the point. Right, so let's look at example number 7. Mr. Wong, who is an ice cream dealer, want to know whether the flavor of ice cream is independent to gender. Maksudnya, they want to know whether male and female ni, maksudnya the flavor ni tak dipengaruhi oleh gender lah. Means chocolate always for women, men tak suka chocolate. They want to know that. Right. So he summarized the data into contingency table. So we have a flavor, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, and category of gender, male or female. So it distribute men who bought chocolate 9 out of 18 men. Right, out of 18 men, 6 beli vanilla, 3 buy strawberry, and woman, out of 21 women, 10 buy strawberry, 4 chocolate, and 7 vanilla. That's all. So this is, instead of we having single qualitative variable, for single qualitative variable kita ada frequency table. We only have 2 column, right? This is a frequency, this is X. For if you have two categorical variable or qualitative variable, this is the form of contingency table, right? Boleh? Okay, I just want to show you the type of contingency table. Now let's look at this one. So they already give you the answer, right? So you nampak dekat sini, example, a survey find that from a total 200 residents taken randomly from town A, 56 are male resident, and from this male resident, 39 are unmarried, right? From the survey, there are 110 married residents. Construct 2 by 2 table for this for the information. Yeah, so they already construct the 2 by 2 table lah, right? Okay. So I think that's enough for today for qualitative variable, right? And then for next week, we will look into organizing quantitative data, right? Organizing quantitative data. And then after organizing quantitative data, we will look into descriptive statistics, right? Descriptive statistics, it should be, you need to have a calculator lah, for descriptive statistics, right? For graphing, you need to have a graph paper, right? So I think that's all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.